Okay, today is April 8, 2014. Let's take a look at the market. The market bounced as we were sort of suspect it will from last night's video. We were talking about that we sent some price action during the trading session yesterday, that this market might be ready for a bounce, and also some of the the past performance based on 3 consecutive down day and coming down to the 50-day moving average and holding up the support. So it's kind of got all these, technical level kind of converged to sort of, indicating that there's a strong possibility of getting a bounce, and then also a lot of the, high beta stock that got clobbered, especially like the Netflix, the Google in the recent day. So we're expecting it to get these, dead cat bounce. And today we got pretty much of that. Now, how sustainable is this bounce? That's to be seen. And we'll take a look at some of those stocks and it's sort of paint a little bit of a scenario of what to look for tomorrow to see is there a follow through, or is it more than just a dead cat bounce. So first of all, let's take a look at the S&P 500. We talk about the S&P 500. Let me see here. We talk about the S&P 500 about holding this 1850, and then when it came down and test this 1840 yesterday, and we were saying that it could come down, maybe tag this level. Well, it did not. It did come down a little bit. Then we were saying that it's could be coming back and try to test this 1850, 1848. Those level, that region for resistance, and you can see that there was some testing on there. If you look at the intraday chart there, and actually it came up and come up to 1851, 1852, which is there's a little bit of a pivot here that eventually it might get up to this 1860 if there's a follow to in the next day or so. So we conceivably maybe see it come up here before it, come back down. Now, when it comes down, and this time around, I do not expect this to be much of a support level, because I expect it to come down and test for support here. If it, this turned out to be support, it would have just stay up and possibly maybe come down and test, this 1850. For support, and then maybe get a little bit of something like this, and then take off, and then come back and might be testing these pivot high. But if it come down below this 1850, then the chances are I'd be looking at this 1834 somewhere, this March 3rd low. And then see where we get a bounce. So essentially, what I'm looking at, the scenario that I'm kind of looking at is maybe come down, test this, and then come back up, and then possibly come up and test this for resistance, or might not even test this for resistance. Maybe just kind of test this for resistance, and then come back down, and then maybe come down and tag this particular pivot low for support. Then we'll see where it could go from there. Will we get enough of a selling that get a little bit consolidation and then move it back up, or it will come back down and tag this level that actually get below this 1800. And actually, I heard somebody actually mention it today, for the first time. I did not want to be, mention it this early, because this is a little bit away. It's somewhere around this 1780, 1790 level here, if we're looking at this particular possibility. So let me put my data box up, and then we can see what that level is. This right here on this closing basis is 1794. So, it eventually could come down to here, but right now we essentially want to see what kind of follow through are we going to get tomorrow, and would it be able to get up to test this particular level here somewhere around 1860. So if it could get up there, then we might, get a little bit more of a dip buyer coming in. Then we might suck them in before it take them back down and kind of trap them, to take it back down to this 1833 level. And then here's the 1820. Okay, so that's the S&P. And if we look at the Dow 30, the Dow 30 really didn't do too much today. And as a matter of fact, I was looking at that. There was a great possibility that it could have closed negative, and that wouldn't be good. So essentially, it's kind of holding up at this little pivot here, we're talking about this particular pivot level, right? So it's kind of holding this sort of like hanging in there. So we'll see how this thing work out, because right now, the Dow is not doing too much, because it's basically it's a value shift, right? Because if the money is going away from these high beta stock, then they come into the Dow. But today, a lot of the money seems to be go chasing after these high beta stock of these dead cat bounce. So one would suspect that there wouldn't be too much of attention or too much of a play into the value area. Okay, so we probably get this little so-so thing and day and that kind of stuff. So we'll see, in the next day or two to see would it be able to get back up and possibly test this level of 16,370 area here. This particular level here. Let me see. This. I'd be surprised if we're going to come back up here at this 16,460 area. So, but you never know. I mean, there's always that possibility. But right now, essentially, I'm kind of looking at it more of coming back down and test this March 3rd low. This area here, somewhere around the 16,060, somewhere around there. And then we'll look at the Nasdaq 100. The Nasdaq 100 again. We were talking about coming back up and test this this support here as a resistance. So you can see that it's kind of just nudged right up there near the close there. Actually, stay above that resistance here. So essentially, we're going to see what kind of follow through we're going to get. Maybe it could get back up to this pivot low here. But if it can't hold, then again, I wouldn't be looking at this as a support anymore when it comes down. Essentially, I'd probably be looking at this, for the next support level. So maybe somewhere around this 34, 45, 34.40 area. Okay. And finally on the Russell 2000, you see the Russell 2000 again. We're talking about coming up and test this level for as a resistance, because we broke that support yesterday. So you can see that it is doing a little bit of a testing here, and it did tail above yesterday's low. So basically, it got a little bit of an inside bar candle here. So we'll see tomorrow to see which way you're going to break. Would it, come back and break above this particular high? Then maybe it will come up and probably try to tag some of these level up here. If it, break below that engulfing candle low, then we could pretty much expect it to come down and probably test this particular level. And then maybe possibility get under the 1100 level and get into maybe a 1080, 1075 area. So, depending on which way it breaks tomorrow, if it doesn't break above that engulfing candle high, then there's a good possibility that we'll be looking at the 1120 as next support. But if it break above that, then maybe there's a chance that it might go back up and try to retest that 1170 level somewhere up around here. Okay. Then on the stock, Apple didn't really do too much today. I think Apple right now is more like an outcast right now. Basically it just go and do its own thing, and it was kind of stay in the red most of the day until near the close, and they actually kind of nudge up into the green a little bit. And so right now it seems to be still holding this 520. 521 level. I do expect it to come down and actually tag this 515. It's sort of make it, trying to make its way down here, and it kind of got held up here at the 518. So we'll see. It could be, this could be set up like a, trading band, and then we're still looking at this 551 as the trigger point, to break out, to maybe make a move up here. So maybe the catalyst will be the quarterly earning, because right now I don't think there's any kind of buzz for Apple to do anything. So, and then looking at Facebook, kind of got a little bounce here, and we're basically looking at maybe possibly get up to this level, essentially. This particular resistant or support term resistant here. Okay, so and there's a possibility that it could get up to this pivot. I mean, this gap here. But right now it seems to be testing right near these these resistance level here, this resistance level. So we'll see what kind of follow through we get. If there's some follow through tomorrow, then we'll be looking at this particular level, as the next potential resistance, and see how the price action going to be. Is it going to come back down? And again, if we come back down, then the next level of support will be somewhere down here. I wouldn't be looking at this anymore because that's not much of a play, because I think it's just going to go right to and fill that gap. And then on Twitter, like I said, when the stock is weak and there's no buyer, it doesn't matter what kind of, initial buying or what kind of move on the upside, it just gets sold, right? It's just like looking at this right here. All these, candle, it just got open near, close where the near is open. So it just could not close anywhere above the open. And here, and then when you see these kind of candle and it just closed on the low, away from the open, and you see that it just have to get below this particular pivot. Right? So I think it's just a matter of time that we see this 39 get tested, because things are not positive for Twitter unless something happened here. Maybe it could kind of consolidate here and then form a base, then go back up. But right now it's kind of look iffy. There's no sign of telling us that's what they're going to do. So, just kind of keep an eye on that. Definitely, I wouldn't be doing any kind of long trading on Twitter. And short, the short is that there's not much of a downside here, downside risk on the short. Now, maybe, because, unless you're just doing a little bit of a day trading or something like that, because I would rather want to see when it comes below, test this 39, and then see what kind of price action it is. Is it going to be, go further below that 39 area, right? Because right now, it could conceivably come down and this 39, attack this 39 and find support, then it just kind of consolidate and then maybe form a little bit of a, W, and then go back up, and then maybe come back up and test this level at the 50. So, I just kind of put it on the watch list. And then Tesla, we're looking at Tesla again. We're talking about Tesla coming back up, maybe possibly testing that, the 50-day moving average. So right now, today is kind of tagged this, and who knows, maybe there could be a little bit more upside and actually, come up to this level here, somewhere around the 220. Okay, but definitely, if it don't have much of a follow through, I think the next level, we're still basically looking for, it's going to come down and test this level where the gap fill is, and then possibly get down to this 193. And it can't hold that 193, then we were talking about this little gap fill, because this 193 is essentially, this level here. So, there could be some support here if it come down over here. And then also you're looking at this particular fifth retracement, and essentially come down, near this 50% point, this 50% retracement, then we could conceivably see a, rebound from there. Or it could do this, then, just head south. So those are the areas that you might want to keep an eye on to see what kind of follow through it has on this. Can it get above this 50-day and then maybe tag this trend line here, and then come back down and then retest this particular resistance, this support level. Okay, then the other one is Google L. See, with Google L, we're talking about getting a little bit bounce, after it came down here, did a little flush, and then close, near the support. And right now, we're basically looking for a bounce to come up here. So you see that it is tagging there. So we'll see, will there be a little bit of a follow through? If there's a follow through, it might be, could try to make its way back up to this 580. But if there's no follow through, then again, look for it to come down and try to retest this for support. If it can't hold that, then we'll probably be looking at it to come down to this 530 and start tagging all these little pivot. Right? Start looking at these pivot as your potential support level, and then just pay attention to see which one it stick, and then see what kind of price action it could occur, and is there going to be a base there or what? Right? Then the other one, the one that I actually traded today, I was debating. Well, I was watching three stock: Apple, Google L, and Netflix, to see which one I want to trade. Fortunately, I did not choose Apple, and Google was making its move too much of a gap already. So basically, I went and traded Netflix. Let me see here, Netflix. Okay. So, and I also put out, this little chart here, I believe. Yesterday it came down and filled this gap and found support, and it came back up with a little bit of a spinning top type of a candle, a doji candle. And we're talking about if we're going to bounce, it's going to bounce up to this level, which it did. It came and bounced up right near this, five. I think it's like 350, 352. Let me see what that is. Put that data box up, and the high of that was 350.79. Okay, so essentially, we're playing this little bit bounce, and who knows, maybe it could go a little bit higher, or tomorrow it's just gonna, peek its head above this resistance and come back down, and we test this level again, and then maybe it will make itself down to this particular level here, right? So these level here, this particular level here, maybe about 318, somewhere around there, and then maybe it get down to these level, 300. Right? So if it could continue to move up, then we probably maybe could see it maybe somewhere around this 363. Right? Is that a 363 somewhere, 364 somewhere around there? Okay. So essentially this particular level here.